Best pig farming practices that triple farm income. A complete guide and framework for sustainable high-profit pig farming. Section 4. Nutrition and feeding management. That is optimizing feed efficiency and is your largest cost and greatest opportunity. Feed represents 60 to 75% of total production costs in pig farming, making nutrition management the single most impactful factor in profitability. Every pound of feed wasted, every nutritional imbalance that slows growth, and every inefficient feeding practice directly reduces your profit margin. Conversely, optimized nutrition programs can improve average daily gain by between 15 to 25%, reduce feed conversion ratios by between 10 to 15%, reduce days to market weight by between 10 to 20 days, and increase profit margins by between 30 to 50%. Let's explore comprehensive feeding strategies that maximize both biological and economical efficiency. Understanding swine nutritional requirements. Pigs require balanced nutrition, providing energy from carbohydrates and fats, protein, specifically essential amino acids that pigs cannot synthesize, vitamins, minerals, and water in precise proportions that vary by age, weight, gender, and production phase. The growing pig's nutritional priorities are maintenance, sustaining body tissue, and basic metabolic functions. Growth, that is building new muscles and bone tissue, and only thirdly, fat deposition when nutrition is insufficient to meet maintenance plus growth requirements. Growth rate slows proportionally. When nutrition exceeds these requirements, excess energy is deposited as fat, which is less valuable economically than lean muscle and indicates insufficient feed utilization. Energy requirements are the foundation of all swine diets, with the pigs consuming feed primarily to meet their energy needs. Once energy requirements are met, pigs typically stop eating. Are satiated, meaning all other nutrients must be present in proper ratios to the energy content of the diet. Growing stroke finishing pigs require approximately between 2,900 to 3,400 kilopascal per pound. When higher energy density is desired, protein and amino acid nutrition is complex because pigs don't actually require crude protein. They require specific amino acids that are the building blocks of protein. Growing pigs require particularly high levels of lysine, methionine, threonine, tryptophan for optimal muscle growth. Modern swine nutrition increasingly uses ideal protein concepts, formulating diets to provide optimal ratios of essential amino acids relative to lysine, the first limiting amino acid, allowing more precise formulation, reduce the crude protein level, reducing nitrogen excretion, and improved feed efficiency. Typical growing or finishing pigs require diets containing between 14 to 18% crude protein, decreasing as pigs grow larger, with specific lysine requirements of between 0.95 to 1.5% for nursery pigs, 0.75 to 0.95 for growing pigs, and 0.60 to 0.75 for finishing pigs. Calcium and phosphorus are critical for bone development and various metabolic functions, required at approximately 0.60 to 0.90% calcium and 0.50 to 0.70% total phosphorus, depending on pig weight. The calcium-phosphorus ratio should be maintained at approximately 1.1 to 1.5 to 1. For optimal bone health, other minerals including sodium chloride that is typically provided as salt at 0.25 to 0.50, trace minerals, iron, zinc, copper, manganese, selenium, and iodine, and vitamins A, D, E, K, B complex vitamins must all be present in proper amount, typically provided through commercial vitamin mineral premixes formulated specifically for swine. Feed formulation and sourcing strategies. You have three primary approaches to feed sourcing: purchasing complete commercial feeds, purchasing commercial mix with your own grains, or formulating and mixing complete feeds from individual ingredients. For small operations under 50 to 100 market pigs annually, purchasing complete commercial feeds from reputable manufacturers is usually most practical and economical. Complete feeds are precisely formulated by professional nutritionists, properly balanced to meet all requirements, including necessary medications and additives, and eliminate risk of formulation errors that can devastate performance. The convenience and consistency of commercial feeds outweigh any cost premium for smaller operations. As your operation scales beyond 100 to 200 market pigs annually, purchasing commercial protein concentrate supplements to mix with your own grains becomes increasingly economical. These concentrates contain protein sources, vitamins, minerals, and additives in concentrated form designed to be mixed with grains, typically 3 to 4 parts grain to 1 part concentrate. To produce complete balanced feeds. This approach captures some cost savings by using your own grains or sourcing grains locally, maintains nutritional balance through professionally formulated concentrates, and remains relatively simple. Many smaller commercial operations use this approach successfully. For operations producing 500 plus market pigs annually, working with an animal nutritionist to formulate custom feeds from individual ingredients offers maximum cost control and performance optimization. Typical growing or finishing diets include corn or other grains, 70 to 80% of diet, providing energy. Soybean meal, 15 to 25%, providing protein and an amino acid. Supplemental amino acids, if needed, like synthetic lysine, methionine, threonine, to optimize amino acid balance without excessive protein. Calcium and phosphorus sources: limestone, calcium phosphate, and 1 to 2% salt, 0.25 to 0.50. Vitamin and mineral premixes, 0.25 to 0.50, and potentially supplemental fat, between 1 to 3% to increase energy density. Custom formulation allows you to substitute ingredients based on availability and pricing. Optimize formulations for your specific genetics and target markets, and potentially reduce feed costs by between 5 to 15% while maintaining or improving performance. Phase feeding programs for maximum efficiency. Feed requirements change dramatically as pigs grow from 12-pound weaning pigs to between 250 to 280-pound market hogs. Young pigs require high nutrient density with elevated protein, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals to support rapid tissue growth relative to their body size. Older pigs require less nutrient-dense feeds as maintenance requirements become proportionally larger relative to growth. Phase feeding using different diet formulations matched to changing requirements at different growth stages significantly improves feed efficiency and reduces cost while maintaining or improving growth rates. A comprehensive phase feeding program includes starter phase, that is weaning through 30 to 40 pounds, typically 2 to 3 weeks from weaning, using highly digestible feeds with between 18 to 20% protein. 1.2 between 1.25 to 1.30% lysine and palatability enhancers to encourage intake during the stressful post-weaning transition. Grower phase 1, that is between 40 to 80 pounds, approximately 3 to 4 weeks duration, with between 16 to 18% protein and between 0.95 to 1.10% lysine, supporting rapid growth. Grower phase 2, that is between 80 to 130 pounds, approximately 4 to 5 weeks, with between 15 to 17% protein and 0.8 to 0.95 lysine. Finisher phase 1, that is between 130 to 180 pounds, approximately 3 to 4 weeks, with the 14 to 16% protein and between 0.7 to 8.5% lysine. Finisher phase 2, that is between 180 to 230 pounds, approximately 3 to 4 weeks, with between 13 to 15% protein and 0.60 to 0.75 lysine, and with the drawer phase, that is 230 pounds, to market final between 7 to 14 days, with between 12 to 14% protein, 0.55 to 0.70 lysine, and no medications if required by regulations or buyers. Some progressive operations use even more phase 6 to 8 distinct diets from weaning to market, or implement blend feeding systems that continually adjust diet formulation by gradually blending decreasing proportions of higher nutrient feeds with increasing proportion of lower nutrient feeds. These sophisticated approaches require more complex feeding management but can improve feed conversion by an additional 3 to 5% and reduce feed costs per pound of grain by between 5 to 8%. Feeding systems and management practices. Feed delivery system design dramatically impacts feed efficiency, labor requirements, and growth uniformity. For very small operations under 20 pigs, hand feeding using buckets and simple feeders work adequately. for operations of between 20 to 100 pigs, semi-automatic systems using gravity flow feeders that hold between 50 to 200 pounds of feeds work well. Pigs have constant feed access. Feeders are refilled every 2 to 5 days, depending on pig size and feeder capacity, and labor requirements are modest. For operations over 100 pigs, automated feed delivery systems using aggers or chains to deliver feed from bulk storage to multiple feeders dramatically reduce labor and can be programmed for precise daily feed allocations. Regardless of system sophistication, proper feeder management is essential. Provide adequate feeder space to minimize competition. One feeder hole for every 4 to 5 growing pigs or every 3 to 5 finishing pigs. Adjust feeder settings to minimize wastage while ensuring adequate availability. Feeders should approximately be half to 3/4 full at the pig feeding area, with feed covering between 40 to 60% of the feeder pan or trough. Feeders set too full result in excessive wastage as pigs spill out, push feed from feeders while rotting, wasting between 5 to 15% of feed. Feeders set too restricted result in inadequate intake, reduced growth rates, and increased competition, causing injuries. Monitor feed consumption daily by observing whether feeders remain adequately supplied and whether pigs show vigorous feeding behavior. Calculate weekly feed conversion ratio in pounds of feed consumed divided by pounds of weight gained. To evaluate feed efficiency, targeting between 2.5 to 3.0 to 1 for the nursery period and 2.8 to 3.2 to 1 for growing period and 3.0 to 3.5 to 1 for finishing period. Any sudden decrease in feed consumption signals problem, disease developing, water system failure, feed quality issues, excessive heat stress, or other stressors requiring immediate investigation. Subscribe to this channel and click notification bell. We publish comprehensive agricultural guides, disease management videos, variety reviews, troubleshooting contents, advanced techniques, and farmer success stories weekly. Contents potentially adding thousands of dollars to your annual farming income. Return regularly because agricultural science continuously advances and evolves. New research, refined management techniques, innovative solutions emerge constantly, and improved storage technologies emerge constantly. Consistent learning separates continuously improving farmers from those stuck in outdated, unprofitable methods. Remember to like this video, comment with your story and commitments, share with farming networks, subscribe for weekly agricultural education, and turn on notifications. Your engagement transforms not only your farm but entire agricultural communities worldwide. Together, we are building a global movement of prosperous, sustainable farmers, proving that with knowledge and commitment, agricultural prosperity is achievable for everyone. Welcome to your farming transformation. Let's make it extraordinary. Best pig farming practices that triple farm income. A complete guide and framework for sustainable high-profit pig farming. Session number 5. Click the link in the description below and watch this very inspiring strategy. Thank you.